Hey there guys, so we're taking a look at Monster Hunter World running on the AMD Ryzen 5 5500U. Now we've taken a look at this running on this system before, but this is the first time we're taking a look at it since AMD updated their DX11 drivers to actually be fixed. So we're going to see what kind of performance we can get out of it. You're looking at the game currently running right now at 1080p with the lowest in-game graphics settings, but we are also using the Fidelity FX CAS upscaling. So this is a very, very early precursor to what would eventually become FSR, where essentially you're just using a sharpening filter to upscale the visual quality of the game itself. It doesn't do it aggressively or anything like that. The game actually doesn't have any presets for it, so it just has one, and it seems to be just something set to around a quality preset. So we are running at just slightly under 1080p, but just in general, the level of performance that we're getting out of here at the stock 15-watt TDP isn't really remarkable. Our averages of 30 FPS would be decent enough if it wasn't for the fact that our 1% lows really struggle to get anywhere near 20. For a lot of the gameplay, it actually ends up being in the teens, and that actually really drags down the overall experience of trying to play like this. So if you're on the stock TDP, 1080p is going to be out of the question. But of course, if we raise the TDP, that might be enough to actually boost our performance here. So let's take a look at what 25 watts actually ends up giving us. And as you can see here, 25 watts actually does make a noticeable difference in the sense that now our 1% lows are in the mid 20s. Now, it's not the most ideal situation. We're definitely getting a 7th generation console-like experience where 30 FPS is the target, but a lot of the times we will have dips into the 20s. And in general, I would say that this is just bordering on the edge of playability. You could certainly get away with playing like this if you really wanted to, but in general, it isn't a perfect experience, and I think that it might lead to some frustration on your part due to just how hectic things can get and how the game itself won't really be able to keep up with those kinds of scenarios. Of course, we can also try to drop the resolution down to see if that can boost the performance. Of course, we are already using an upscaler, so we are going to be dropping the base resolution, which means that the upscaler is going to drop the resolution even further from there, and we'll see what that does to the visual quality itself. And at the stock TDP, dropping down to 900p actually makes a pretty meaningful difference, where now we're getting a far more playable level of performance here, with our 1% lows now being comfortably above 30 and our averages being in the 40 range for a lot of this. It is pretty much the most ideal situation if you actually want to play this game on this system. You don't have to aggressively drop down all the way to 720p. You can get a playable experience right here. Of course, it isn't perfect. We aren't hitting a 60 FPS average or anything like that, but still really nice results considering that visually speaking, we aren't sacrificing too much resolution, and our FPS is at least within a range that is going to be an enjoyable experience. Now, bumping up the TDP up to 25 watts doesn't really give us a super major improvement in performance by any means. Our 1% lows really just see a couple of FPS in improvement, as well as our averages. So this is one of those scenarios where if your system can handle the Ryzen TDP, then by all means go for it. Any improvement in FPS is going to be welcome. But if you're stuck at just a 15-watt TDP, you aren't missing out on too much to the point where I would really feel too bothered here. And in general, the game actually does feel noticeably more playable than it did back then. Maybe I've just become more accustomed to playing games at these lower FPS values, but in general, I felt very comfortable playing like this, and it was actually a very enjoyable experience. So if you're interested in trying out the game, I definitely consider it a playable experience on this system. It's just not going to be the most ideal. But anyways, I hope you guys found this video interesting or useful or entertaining. If you did, be sure to subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can become a member for as little as $1 a month, or you could just check out the affiliate links down below and help support the channel at no extra cost to you. If you're already considering getting something from Amazon, using those affiliate links will help me immensely at no added cost to you. And I greatly, greatly appreciate anybody that does that. But anyways, I will catch you guys in the next one.